All right, so one of the things I've been doing early this morning here is I have a drywall sander right here, which is hooked to the shop vacuum, which gets up the stuff. We have the ceiling here, which is wood. Now, we don't have to get it down completely to just bare wood, but what we have to do is get all of the loose paint on here. So I've spent, I've been doing this a little bit off and on and things. The nice thing is it can be turned so it's 90 degrees, so I can kind of stand here and hold it. But after about 10-15 minutes, you kind of lose it. And you can see where I've gone through here and with the 40 grit sandpaper and clean this up. I had somebody who commented and said, well, you're an idiot. You can just go ahead and go and get paint stripper and put it on there in 10 minutes, just scrape all of it off. Couple things on that. First of all, putting the stripper on the ceiling up there is going to drip down like crazy, which means it's going to make more of a mess. The second thing is it doesn't work that easy. Believe me, we've got a gallon of citrus strip where we were actually trying to strip some of the doors and stuff with the multiple layers of the paint, and it was just making a mess. We literally had to let it sit because we tried out here at first. We ended up putting it on here and having to let it sit overnight, and it's still coat after coat after coat. We actually just gave up on that. It was actually easier to scrape by hand than using the stripper. I don't know if it's because it's the old paint that's harder to go, but literally if I spend about an hour and a half, I'll have it sanded to the point where it's like this, and it'll be real easy to paint. This will give you an example, and this wasn't actually, I just wanted to see how it was going to look, to give you an idea on the ceiling. So we can clean this with that sander. I just got to spend time getting it. Places like this where you see it's loose and all that, it'll knock all that off. Places like here where there's a hump, it'll even it out. It's never going to be perfect, but if we do one more coat, one more cleanup on this, when we paint this is going to look really good. Boy, we're kicking ass today. So we now have, say, four of them done. There's only two upstairs left to do on here. And I've got my parts that I need for spackling up the wall. I got plywood for the other cabinet. So I've got the pieces cut out. I've got to cut my my dados into them, so that way they'll be ready to be put together. So we'll have that cabinet put together today too. Wow, we are rocking and rolling. So we're gonna keep on hitting it. That has to come off to put the plaster on. And I also have to put in the thermostat for the heating and air conditioning. So we had to run that up in the wall. So before I plaster this over, we got it cleared up. So trying to take care of two things at the same time. I'm gonna let the dust settle. We got a fan here blowing this out. We'll let the dust settle and go downstairs and sand a little bit. But while I'm here, wet the walls. Need the walls nice and moist for that to sit in there. See, this is good because getting rid of all that wallpaper gets it back to the plaster. And we also want to wet here because we're going to be putting that in there, and we want to seal this back up as well. Always so much to do. Always so much to do. This is truly a labor of love. I ain't gonna lie to you. Whew. I'm gonna try and see if we can plaster this wall. This is one of the worst, It is one of the worst ones because we're also doing this part. But basically, we're going to work our way around. I'm still learning this as I go along, so bear with me. That paint stripper works great. So I'm going to just wet this first. We're going to come back and brush it before we actually try and put the plaster on. So I'm going to mix a lot of plaster here. See if we can make this look nice. Whew. And I need to get the conduit in there as well. So, lots to do. Whew. That fan is really sucking this out here real quick, which is good. Alrighty. I think that's about as prepped as good as it's gonna be. See if we can go through and just do this whole wall and get it looking good. All right, go downstairs and sand the ceiling some more. All right, we're learning. This is me making my own mix here of plaster. This is the sand mix, the heavy coat, and we're going to be coating upstairs. I've learned it's better to make your lime putty and let it age, and then you mix it with the sand. You get this much thicker, fatter. See how it sticks to my gloves and stuff? It gets a much fatter, stickier mix, and it's better on the walls and it's stronger. If you end up mixing it with it dry, it takes forever, and I mean forever, to mix it up. But you can see how that is like, it looks like cake or cookie dough. Yeah, and that's what you want. You want it to be kind of like a thin cream cheese, like a whipped cream cheese. Oh boy, what a day. Okay, so I did a live stream while we were building this cabinet over here that's going to go over top of the refrigerator. I've glued together the countertop, I've sanded it. I'm going to go get some thinner, wipe it down, and then put some spar urethane on it. We have, we did a 2-hour live stream. A lot of people have been asking, man, we want to see you working on the red brick house. I guess they want to see if I'm actually really working. So I'm hoping that it looks better up here. I mixed up about 20 gallons of the plaster. We didn't plaster over the doorway there because that's still drying with the lath, but we plastered this section of wall, so it's going to be quite a bit of plaster to go on there. This is just the first coat. Then we have the finished plaster to go on there, but that looks a whole lot better. Oh my God, that looks so much better. In comparison to looking like you got bullet holes over there. Once we smoothed it out some more, there was a lot of high places and low places where the walls, you know, when they originally did them, they didn't care about them being, you know, flat and level. So we tried to level it out, and you can see in here, you know, where I've got more room to bring this up. So it'll be nice and thick on there when we, oh, it's getting close. Oh, it's actually just about dry. See, before I can push my fingers into it. So yeah, this is good. We'll be able to maybe put some more on there tomorrow before I go up the road. So I didn't have enough to go through, and I was hoping to do this whole wall, but it takes some time. It takes about an hour to really mix that up well. So we're going to go down and spar urethane the countertop, and then I'm going to get ready for my live stream that I'll be doing. But wow, what a difference. Tell me that doesn't look good. Well, that's the first coat. We're gonna end up putting 4 coats on this. I wanted to get this first coat on tonight and see if I can get the second coat on tomorrow before I leave, so that way it has plenty of time to dry out. And then we will wet sand it in between the coats, so that way we get a nice glassy finish to it. Wow. Wow. And we've got to, of course, do the same thing over there. Whew. It's 8 o'clock already. And I've got a live stream in 51 minutes, so I need to go get set up for that. But definitely, it's beginning to shape up. This kitchen with the cabinets here, I like the tall 2 cabinets like this. You got the 2 windows. You framed it all up so it's all balanced. I really think that this is going to be one heck of a kitchen. Man, I can't wait to start cooking in here. All right, good people. I'll see you soon. Peace.